Okay, so now we're actually live, and I will start the video.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Open Mic America and happy Mother's Day. We're so happy that you all chose to tune in tonight. We've got a great lineup for you tonight, but first, I want to announce our wonderful staff because tonight we are featuring our founder and interviewer for tonight, Capo Dave Williams. We have our show engineer, TK Tran, who's also performing later. And of course, we have new ghost hosts this evening. We've got Sarah Glazer and Matt Meehan. And then I am your host with the mostest, Laura P.L. Bordowitz, here tonight to show you that our mission here at Open Mic America is to support the local open mics. And it's our pleasure to present the more accomplished singer-songwriters who typically play at those events. No gimmicks, no frills. This right here is the beating heart of American music, the tapestry of story and song that's been weaving us together for generations. And I bet you are all really excited to see who is performing tonight. Well, tonight we've got J.D. Cotton from Issaquah, Washington. We have Shakey Joe Kambic from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Priscilla Ederle from San Mateo, California. Jan Luby from Pascoag, Rhode Island. Henry Kaiser from Portland, Oregon. Mark Bishop Evans from Cathedral City, California. Our very own TK Tran from San Jose, California. Evan Acey from Beaverton, Oregon, and Sarah Goslee Reed from Mount Vernon, Ohio. And then closing us out for tonight, the one and only Ernest Whaley from Cuenca, Ecuador. We're an international show tonight. All right, well, is everybody ready to get started? I know we've got a lot of performers here tonight, and we're excited to hear our very first one, typically heard at the Black Dog Open Mic. We've got J.D. Cotton. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Huge pleasure to be here. I'm honored to be a part of the Open Mic America group, and I'll be playing two songs. The first one is called California Burning, and it's a recounting of the terrible wildfire that went through Paradise and Magalia, California in 2018. A lot of lives were lost, and a lot of damage was done, and we're about to enter wildfire season again, so it seemed appropriate to maybe sing this one for you. California Burning. These angry winds are falling like a freight train from the sun, and these skeletons are calling out to everyone. I want to rise up from this heat. If I had somewhere to run, California burning. When I left her in Magalia, and I told her not to cry, we all gathered at the campfire. We got lost in paradise. I will rise up from this heat. If I had somewhere to run, California burning. California burning. California burning. Santa Ana, she has flown again. God only knows off to where. Thinking maybe she's gone home again. Love released into thin air. California burning. See her fly like night birds in the sky. California burning. The smoke in the night falling on your eyes. California burning. The embers rising to a sunset sky. California burning.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Awesome.
So
Beautiful.
much. My second song is it's about small town America, and small town America is in trouble and has been for a long time because people are leaving and there aren't many jobs, and it's not easy to make a go of it there where a lot of families came from. Anyhow, I went back there a few years ago to see my folks, and I was just thinking about, my annual trip, and both my parents died in recent years. My dad last year, actually. So anyway, I miss them, and I miss my little hometown, and this is really a dedication to small town America. It's called Still My Little Hometown. Well, I went back home to check on my folks, 'cause they're both getting on in years. And on the way out of town, took a slow drive around to see what had changed that had disappeared. Most of the stores by the four-way were closed. The Chevrolet garage is long gone. And Grandpa's old house they finally tore down and spilled all the memories out on the lawn. When I pulled over in the shade of an oak, I rolled down the window and smelled the wood smoke. The frosty treat still serves nickel ice cream. The freezing rain still coming down, and I'm still dating Eddie in my '64 Chevy. All of my friends are around. It might be tattered, bleached out and battered, but it's still my little hometown. The factory is gone with the steady day jobs that kept farmers and families fed. And they put in a prison heartbreak decision. Now addiction has taken the kids. The farmer Farmers Exchange is still open on Main, where my Uncle Don used to work. He died at the wheel, asleep in a field, where the owner told Dad that he wasn't the first. When I pulled over the shade of an oak and rolled down the window, smelled the wood smoke. The frosted treat still serves nickel ice cream. The freezing rain's still coming down, and I'm still dating Evie in my '64 Chevy, and all of my friends are around. Well, it might be tattered, bleached out and battered, but it's still my little hometown. And I'm still dating Evie in my '64 Chevy, and all of my friends are around. Well, it might be tattered, bleached out and battered, but it's still my little hometown. Well, it's still my little, my bittersweet riddle. It's still my little hometown.
Beautiful, JD.
Wow.
Wow.
Beautiful, JD. That's wonderful, man.
Oh, that
must
was
have-
lovely.
I must have my window down under the same oak tree because I smell the wood smoke too with you, JD, when you sing
Yeah,
that.
I want to go to that town.
Thank you.
JD, if you're ever taken into custody and accused of being a folk singer, you better plead guilty. That's all I can say.
I'll remember that.
Take me back as far as you can in your mind. The first songs that you heard that caught your attention and made you want to play music,
Wow.
all the way
Man.
back.
You always ask such insightful questions. I gotta say, John Denver.
Song in particular that got you?
Well, the one that still takes me back, of course, is Rocky Mountain High
Yeah.
off that album. Just that, I don't know, just the way they produce. I didn't think of it at the time, but now I know. I mean, the way they produced it, that kind of reverby 70s sound, and just the, that low D tuning, and just, that kind of dreamy, I don't know, just beautiful. And then, it wasn't just that song. I mean, they had the Season Suite on there, and they had, just so many great songs. And it just, I got the songbook. I learned every song. It just became, before that, I mean, I was listening to lots of different music, but I think that one steered me definitely towards more fun.
How old were you at the time?
Well, I guess I was about maybe 14, 15, something like that.
So you'd sit up in your room with that songbook and play those songs?
You betcha.
Wonderful. Thanks, JD. Love your stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I do apologize. I will be back soon.
No worry. Mother's Day. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's Mother's Day celebration. Okay, I'll be back soon. Thank you.
Okay, Laura, who's next?
Yes, in case anyone didn't know, it's Mother's Day. And if that's news to you, go call your mom. But after the show, stay for the show first. Call her afterwards. She will understand. Or better yet, just send her the link to the show. It'll be a good time. But you know what? We're going to continue on with some great performances. Number 2 on the mic is going to be Shakey Joe Kambic. Their open mics that they want to shout out are Babe's Grill House in Palmyra, Pennsylvania on Wednesdays, and Hell in a Bucket Brewing, which happens on Thursdays in Wrightsville, Pennsylvania.
Hi, everybody. Pleasure to be here. Thank you very, very much. These two songs that I'll be playing are off a CD that was released here in April. The first song is one in homage to the composer Dane Gazowski, who died before the age of 60. And Dane, when I knew him back in Colorado back in the 70s, wrote a good number of love songs with a little blues tinge to them. This one is one that he performed when I was in the recording studio with him in Denver, back when I played piano, entitled Higher Elevations. I sure hope you will like it. Call me when you want me, just like all the rest. Tell you that I want you to without thinking about what's best. And though the morning will find you 1,000 miles west, tonight the moon will be riding shadows across your breast. Your name was written in the sky when I traveled on steel wings. Now it's written here in the song as I travel on steel strings. Still I'd bear any pain, wear proudly any scar, for just a chance to spend one more moment where you are. Well, the snow's begun to fall on those higher elevations. Who knows, but maybe this time I'll give into the temptation to run out and find you where you're living on the coast. Give myself one last chance to exorcise your ghost. Call me when you want me, just like all the rest. I tell you that I want you to without thinking about what's best. And though the morning will find you 1,000 miles west, right then the moon will be riding shadows across your breast, across your breast, across your breast.
Whoa. All right.
Thank you. He was a really fine songwriter, and it's a real pleasure to be able to play his songs. I don't think he ever had the opportunity to do what I'm able to do nowadays, virtual mics. open mics, things like that. Next song's an original entitled Kentucky Bourbon Sky. Hope you like it. Papa said to me, hey boy, don't you cry, I'll be seeing you on the by and by. Daddy said to me, hey son, don't you cry, I'll be seeing you on the by and by. I gotta get me some bluegrass near a cherry wine stream. It is there I'll be living my daddy's dream. There I'll be living the dream. Oh, Kentucky bourbon sky. Oh, Kentucky bourbon sky. Becky said to me, little brother, don't cry, I'll be seeing you on the by and by. Becky said to me, little boy, don't cry, I'll be seeing you on the by and by. Gotta get me some bluegrass near a cherry wine stream. It is there I'll be living our daddy's dream. There I'll be living the dream. Oh, Kentucky bourbon sky. Oh, Kentucky bourbon sky. Hey there, mama, don't you cry, I'll be seeing you on the by and by. Oh dear mama, don't you cry, I'll be seeing you on the by and by. Gotta get me some bluegrass near a cherry wine stream. It is there I'll be living my daddy's dream. There I'll be living the dream. Oh, that Kentucky bourbon sky. Oh, that Kentucky bourbon sky.
Yeah.
Folks.
Man, I felt like I could get lost in your beautiful picking. That was great.
Yeah. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Shaky Joe. Some very evocative numbers there. First of all, show us your instrument there. Is that a homebrew? Did you build that thing?
No, I didn't. It's professionally made by a luthier out of Chincoteague, Virginia, with a company called Mudboy Guitar Works. His name is Stan Opiel. This is the first custom model that he made for me. And the neck is oak, tuned to an open G, and it's got actually 4 strings, although most cigar box guitars will have 3. Tuned to an open G, in this case it's G, a double G in the middle, and a higher G at the bottom, gravity-wise. And those 2 Ds are an octave apart, so every once in a while I like hitting that upper D and just give it a little taste.
It's got that rootsy sound to it. Talk to us a little bit about, I mean, obviously you love the blues. Some of the influences that that brought you to that music.
Well, what happened was back in the 70s when I lived in Colorado, I was, among other things, into jazz and country and western. And jazz is just too complicated for me to pick up. And I followed a young bluesman down in Larimer Square in Colorado. His name was Johnny Long. Now, Johnny Long was a protege or the quote-unquote adopted son of homesick James out of Chicago. And would go down and I would listen to him play, and I thought, holy smokes, this stuff is good. And he's the impetus for me eventually doing this, listening to folks like Mississippi Fred McDowell, Mississippi John Hurt, Burnside, Robert Johnson, and one of my favorites is, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, Sunhouse.
Sunhouse, okay.
Yeah.
Well, those are 2 interesting songs. Thanks so much, Shaky Joe.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Take care.
All right, one good performer after another. I'd love to hear it on this show. And we're going to go right on to our next performer. The open mic that she wants to shout out is Cafe Zoe in Menlo Park, California, which happens every 3rd Friday of the month. But we're so excited to have her here this Sunday. Priscilla.
Hello. Hi there. Thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to this and hopefully prepared. Anyway, I have 2 original songs I'll be playing. One of them is called Carry You, which is the first one I'll be playing. So anyway, there isn't much story around this song other than, it's basically just kind of a little bit of a love song with a different twist. So.
I could tell you never been in love before. The fear of getting stung hard left on the floor. Honeycombs of angry buzzing bees kept you far from any amber honey, and taking risks was something you could never bear. Falling to your knees, but darling, don't worry, 'cause I will always carry you. Falling from your tree, but darling, don't worry, 'cause I will always carry you now. I was like a sugar cube upon your tongue. Tastes like sweet crystals melting in the sun. Never trusted I would do you right. You were never into silent types. A bitter pill was how you swallowed everyone. Falling to your knees, but darling, don't worry, 'cause I will always carry you. Falling from your tree, but darling, don't worry, 'cause I will always carry you now.
Yeah.
Woo!
Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Yeah. Wow.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. It's like the second time I played it in front of an audience. So thank you guys. I really appreciate that. It's always like hard to prepare because I'm always worried I'm not going to hit the note. So anyway, it's just always a little bit of an anxiety that I have when I play. So anyhow, so the next song I'm going to play for you is called Ice Rain. And it's a song, I'm still on screen here. It's just another song I wrote that just has to do with kind of another different kind of love song, I guess. Just more of a story around it. Not really so much a personal story, but just more of a story about, somebody who, basically two people that have to kind of part ways because, somebody has to move on and maybe the other person isn't. So anyway, this is called Ice Rain.
Walked into art galleries, old paintings full of naked bodies. There was just one I saw. You were not here anymore. Twisted roots and shady trees invaded all my memories. You left me on the seashore, drifting with a broken oar. You moved far away, small town life never kept you satisfied. Our world was too constrained. You had to change, and I keep remembering ice rain on a bad day, ice rain and the frozen tears on my face, ice rain on a bad day, and ice rain you rode on the last train out of town. Heard you now in New York City, married to a wife so pretty, living on the ninth floor. You had always wanted more. I guess her name is Valerie. You met her at a winery and hung out near the back door. She was never insecure. You moved far away, small town life never kept you satisfied. Our world was too constrained. You had to change, and I keep remembering ice rain on a bad day, ice rain and the frozen tears on my face, ice rain on a bad day, ice rain you rode on the last train out of town. Now I'm all alone. You found a new home. You're so happy now. And ice rain on a bad day, ice rain and the frozen tears on my face, ice rain on a bad day, ice rain you rode on the last train out of
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wonderful.
Super.
the
Wow.
lighters happening now.
Priscilla, wonderful songs, beautiful singing, powerful singing. Oh, golly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful stuff. So you play mostly down at the Zoe. That's Pete Summers' stomping ground. I
Yeah.
guess you know Pete very well.
Yeah.
What's going on down there in real time? Do they have shows going on now?
They have a lot of shows. There's people doing kind of regular showcase type, gigs, like where they're playing full shows. I forget which nights they have those, but they've got them on usually, Saturday nights and just the other nights. And then they do their open mic once. It's once a month. It's every third Friday, and that's actually really amazing. There's so many people that show up, and Pete does a great job, hosting the whole thing, and it's really fun. And they do it all outside. It's really cool.
How about yourself, aside from playing there? Do you have any shows going on otherwise?
Right now, I'm trying to focus on actually doing a little bit more recording and kind of just writing songs and making demos. I'm working right now to record with a producer that I know. And so, yeah, I'm trying to work on that for now, and then just playing, kind of the open mics around the area.
I can definitely hear those songs with other instruments and a band. I think they would be very, very well suited to that. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Love your
course.
songs.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Give it up one more time for Priscilla. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, and we are moving right along to another performer, number 4 for tonight. It's Jan Luby from Pascoag, Rhode Island, and she doesn't sing at this open mic, but she has other reasons to shout them out. It's Rosalind Dale open mic. So put your hands together for Jan.
Hi, thanks. Rosendale Open Mic is a great community, and there's also a lot of the people involved in Rosendale Open Mic are musicians for the greater good, and they do like a benefit a month for different causes. They just recently did one for Ukraine, and there's one coming up for, you have to check them out, Musicians for the Greater Good in Rosendale. It's online mostly now, so I haven't been going to that. I haven't been getting out much in the last few years. Because it's Mother's Day, and my mom's been gone for almost 41 years, I'm not going to do a song for my mom, but I thought I'd do a couple that my daughter inspired. So this one came out of, how kids just say these very original things. They didn't hear it somewhere, they didn't read it somewhere, so she did that one morning when I hadn't had my coffee yet and exploded my brain. My hands are wrapped around a cup of coffee. There's a tulip on the table, me and my girl in the room, and she says, I've been wondering, Mommy, if it's painful for a flower when it blooms. Well, you know me, I always want to tell her what's true. But what can I say that's gonna come out right? Should I tell her what I think, though it might make her blue? And so we sit here in the morning light. Some things I don't know, some I don't want to tell her. It's a beautiful, big, sweet, scary world. And you won't always be my little girl. My little girl, well, this question comes from one who'll be blooming soon. Sooner than I'm ready, this I know. Some evening she will feel the tug of the moon, and no matter what I say, she's gonna turn and go. Some things I don't know, some I don't want to tell her. It's a beautiful, big, sweet, scary world. And you won't always be my little girl. My little girl, my hands are wrapped around my first cup of coffee. There's a tulip on the table, me and my girl in the room, and she really wakes me up when she says, I've been wondering, Mommy, if it's painful for a flower when it blooms.
I say that would be like,
Yeah, that's poetry
Wow.
in motion. Yeah, right on.
Makes you think.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah. She called me today. We had a nice long talk. She's in Minneapolis right now. So, okay, so she did grow up and she left. And she left for 6 months in England right after high school. And so I'm part of Rhode Island Songwriters Association, and I'm one of the 4 hosts at the Songwriters in the Round show at AS220 in Providence. And so I'd have to come up with several new songs a year, whether I liked it or not. And this one was the theme we were writing on was obstacles. So I thought that this worked for obstacles. Let's see. I look in on your empty room. It's never been so clean. All the pictures in my mind, from toddler to teen. Tiny girl in my arms, radio playing. 2 dancers on 1 pair of legs, spinning and swaying. Now there's an ocean between us, deep, wide, and blue. Ocean between us, and no word from you. Fearless little ones, climbing up so high, while I ran around, catcher in the rye, helping me in the kitchen, standing on a chair, looking up and smiling at me with banana in your hair. Now there's an ocean between us, deep, wide, and blue. Ocean between us, and no word from you. Early hockey mornings, summer softball days, wearing t-shirts and torn up jeans, whoops, in your blue jean face. Driving home from Boston, followed by the moon. The truth of sex and Santa Claus, learned all too soon. Now there's an ocean between us, deep, wide, and blue. Ocean between us, and no word from you. Ocean between us, and no word from you.
Yeah.
thanks, Jan.
Wow.
Aw.
Good. Good.
Perfect songs for Mother's Day, Jan. So is your daughter is grown now, I guess, yes?
She is. She's 31.
So you write songs from your memory of when she was a child? Is that what?
She's inspired a lot of songs, but I write songs about a little bit of everything.
I see.
Kind of an activist at heart, and so I like those kind of songs too. And I tend to write, unless even when I get a theme I have to write on, I tend to write from what I know. So they are pretty personal stories. I like to tell stories, though.
That line, do flowers feel pain when they bloom? So it's kids asking questions that you just can't really answer or don't want to.
Yeah.
Is what I was hearing there.
Yeah. Yeah, she really did ask me that.
She actually asked you that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
So
around this time of
she's
year, there were tulips on the table, and she was looking at them, saying, "I wonder, like when I have growing pains, and you know." So
it
that's where
makes sense. It makes sense. So she's lives somewhere else now.
she traveled a lot when she
I
left
see.
home, and
I see.
rode the rails, and I mean, I think I told her too many stories of my growing up, that because I left home at 17, and I went to California for 14 years and traveled in Europe, and so I did a lot of traveling as well. I did a lot of hitchhiking. She was hopping freight trains, so
Your daughter was hopping freight trains?
yes, for like three
And when
years or
she
more.
told
Yeah.
you that, how did you react to that?
Well, I would tell people, and they'd say, "You look so calm." I was like, "Oh, no, I'm not calm. I'm not calm." But she's semi settled down. Now she drives
Well,
around, and
amazing stuff. Thanks for sharing that with us. Great.
right.
Thanks for coming on the
Mother's Day
show.
all for everybody who is a mother or has a mother.
Thank you, Jan.
Beautiful sentiment. Thank you, Jan. That was wonderful. Well, we're going to keep on moving to our next performer, and he looks like he's ready, from Portland, Oregon, and shouting out the Open Mic Influence Music Hall, which is a Friday night virtual open mic. It's Henry Kaiser.
Thank you all. This song was written at a dark time, and I, for some reason, felt that things would work out, and it does express my basic outlook on life. I've certainly seen better days, sadder days, red letter days, time when all the world's afire, and days when life's a funeral pyre. What lessons do we learn, consumed with dull concern? Now I look ahead with cautious hope, refusing to be glum. Each day a steady forward step to better days to come. I've tried to learn to wisely walk down this life's crooked trail, sailing on the winds of fate, couldn't find my holy grail. Maybe we find safe harbor in the heart if we take command right at the start of our passage through life's mystery, so frightening to some. But we'll find our way with our souls charged to better days to come. Oh, sirens of the stormy sea, oh, lighthouse on the shore, oh, starry sky and moon on high, oh, power of sweet amour, guide us to finer light like Phoenix, with a vision bright, banishing fear this very night for better days to come. Now comes the time of transformation, born in the peace of restoration. Now is the time of new conviction, each footfall feels secure. Bright spirit on the rise, black doubt knows its demise. With mighty feathered steps I march toward freedom on a shield and sword. Oh, sweetness now, my faith restored for better days to come. Oh, sirens of the stormy sea, oh, lighthouse on the shore, oh, starry sky and moon on high, oh, power of sweet amor. Guide us to a finer light like Phoenix with a vision bright, banishing fear this very night for better days to come. Sweetness now my faith restored for better days to come. Better days to come.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Nice, Henry, very nice.
wonderful.
What we all want.
Better days.
Great, Henry.
And this one, actually, some of the words came to me engraved on a silver tray when I got married. And so it talks about husband and wife and the love that comes from that. And it's also a song I wrote into a play that I've written about Alexander the Great's top general, Parmenio. And it's a duet in this case, where the husband, Parmenio, and his wife are saying goodbye to each other as he goes off to his campaign in the Mideast. And they know they'll never see each other again. So they sing a duet. He is a king who stands firm in his faith in men, who uses honesty in everything, who has the strength to try and try again. He is a king. He is a king who holds the helm and guides the speeding ship, who first is true and strong and comforting, who has the courage for his leadership. He is a king who is a man helping the weak to be strong again, who scorns the diadems encircling ring and wears his crown within the hearts of men. She is a queen who is the symbol of the deep, serene security of love and rest to all she knows. She is a queen whose patient strength can mean security and rest and man's repose. She is a queen who wears a glowing beauty seen in her warm wisdom and love's guarded flame. She is a queen who molds her children straight and clean, deserving honor of their father's name. Behold the husband and the wife, within each circle half of life, which in meeting fuse to be unchanged throughout eternity. Here is no mystery concealed. Here's life's basic vital plan, each strength in dual strength revealed. She as a woman, he a man. He is a king, she is a queen. Here Here is God's basic vital plan. Each strength in dual strength revealed. She as a woman, he a man. Thank you.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
I want to see the play. That was great.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Henry, the thread that runs through your song, I think, is optimism. I think that's the way I would characterize your writing. And your second song, very interesting. You're a history buff. I am too. And Alexander the Great, of course, a great figure from history. We have this scoundrel Putin who thinks he's Alexander the Great, but he's actually Ederle the Hun, right? But tell us about your play, that's the song about a general that was Alexander's general. How did you get interested in that?
Well, I read a book that talked about kind of important events, and I knew where I'd like to perform the play, and I also thought the theme was really interesting. And I'd say the theme is, what does a man do if his most noble virtues seal his doom? It's the life story. And we think about Alexander going off the rails. And if he hadn't done that, the whole Mideast would today maybe be Macedonian.
So true. So true.
That was a juncture in history that things really went in a different direction.
Well, I guess Alexander did his share of plundering, but at least he brought culture, which is not what the present guy is all about, certainly.
Yeah, that's right. Alexander the Great did actually adopt some of the finer virtues of the cultures that he visited. So he wasn't all bad. He just went off the rails.
Yeah. Well, listen, really appreciate you being on the show and love the way you make that 12 strings sing. It sounded great. Thank you so much, Henry.
Perfect. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, thank you, Henry. Those are some beautiful songs. And with that, we have reached the halfway point of the show tonight. So everybody get your stretch, get your wiggles out, all right, we're done. We're going on to the next performer, Mark Bishop Evans. Are you ready? From Cathedral City, California. His open mic to shout out is North Reading Community Coughing House. Take us away, Mark.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. And thank you so much for you guys, Dave, and all you guys for putting this on. It's really cool, and I really enjoy being here. JD started out the program with a song about California burning, and I was going to play a song called Paradise is Burning, which is a story about the same fire. And so I said that I'll change that, and he sent me a message. He said, "No, do it." So I'm going to do it. This is called. In fact, it's the most recent song I've written. It's called "Paradise is Burning." It's about the November 8th, 2018, destruction of the town of Paradise, California, by the Camp Fire.
In the hot wind of November, the Sierra's parched and dry. The drought has lasted 10 years now, and if trees could, they'd cry. No water in the river, no moisture on the ground, and the Santa Ana's blowing, and she makes a mournful sound. So it's really not surprising that the wind took down a line, sending sparks into the brush at Camp Creek number 9. and the embers rising to the sky to settle to the ground. Like firebirds, they start ablaze wherever they touch down. And there's fire on the mountain, and the smoke is in the sky, blazing like a fountain. It burns into the night. It rages through the valley as fast as eagles flew. And paradise is burning, and there's nothing we can do. As the town is slowly waking up to start another day, the ash has started falling, and the fire is on its way. On the outskirts, homes are burning, and the calls were pouring in. But they were told they were on their own, resources are too thin. As the sun broke the horizon, the alarm was finally raised. But by then it was far too late, and the forest was ablaze. And panic starts to smolder when there's nowhere left to turn. And the roads are blocked, and the town is caught, and walls of fire burn. Now they're trying to evacuate on the one road out town. That became a stalemate as the burning trees came down. And minutes can be hours when you're trying to survive. And the only thing that matters is to keep your kids alive. In a last and desperate gamble, the fire truck circled round. And all those who were able came and huddled on the ground as a tidal wave of raging flames swept across the land, till not a single building, barn, or tree was left to stand. And there's fire on the mountain, and the smoke is in the sky, blazing like a fountain as it burns into the night. Raging up the valley as fast as eagles flew. And paradise is burning, and there's nothing we can do. Well, the people in that circle lived, and many others too. But over 80 of their neighbors died, all people that they knew. And 19,000 buildings burned to nothing left but ash. And paradise is no more, and it happened in a flash. Now some have promised to rebuild, and others choose to leave. But temperatures keep rising, and the danger just increased. So if you want that life again, this truth you'll have to face. And perhaps you build your paradise in a different place. 'Cause there's fire on the mountain, and the smoke is in the sky, blazing like a fountain as it burns into the night. Raging through the valley as fast as eagles flew. And paradise is burning, and there's nothing. I said there's fire on the mountain, and the smoke is in the sky, blazing like a fountain as it burns into the night. Raging through the valley as fast as eagles flew. And paradise is burning, and there's nothing we can do.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh, nice.
Got it, Mark. You got it.
Well, paradise is burning, yeah. When Columbus came to the Americas, it's estimated that there were somewhere between 50 and 100 million people living here already. That was in what, 1492? 400 years later, in 1900, when they took a census of the Native Americans in America, there was 500,000 left. I mean, you can do the math. And not only did we and the Canadians try to totally eradicate the people, we tried to eradicate their culture as well by taking their children and putting them in residential schools. And this is a song about that. It's called Little Hearts.
Many years ago, when this land was our beautiful home, where buffalo and deer and the children of our people could roam, we hunted and we played, we lived and we loved and we pleased, taking what we needed while living with the mother in peace. Life had been that way for our people for so many years that no one could imagine a future full of so many tears. So on that distant day when we saw the first white man appear, we opened up our arms, never knowing we had so much to fear. What started as a trickle eventually became a great flood. It swept across the land, leaving nothing but fire and blood. We tried to stand our ground and hold on to a measure of pride, but all we did was nothing when faced against that onrushing tide. Soldiers and the miners and the farmers, they came and they came, until we had to bow and finally surrender our claim. And they gathered what was left of us and sent us to a forsaken land. And many of our children died mid the cactus and sand. Little heart, all alone, little hearts need a home, spirit hearts left to roam, little heart, bring them home. Apparently all our pain and sorrow just wasn't enough. So then they came and gathered up the children and took them from us. They said that they would train them and teach them to have a new life. So how could we imagine how many of our babies would die? They put them all in uniforms and marched them off to what they called schools. And many of them died just because they couldn't follow their rules. They cut off all their hair stripped away all that they were, and those who could survive were left all broken and scarred. Little hearts all alone, little hearts need a home, spirit hearts left to roam, little hearts bring them home. Now many years have passed since the last of those places were closed. How many children never came home? Nobody knows. By all accounts, there were several thousand children who died, and the churches and the governments are now admitting how much they lied. And so we go on searching for the places they can be found, to rescue little hearts that are buried in unholy ground, gathering them up from the places where they are unknown, and weeping as we honor these babies we're bringing home. Little hearts all alone, little hearts need a home, spirit hearts left to roam, little hearts bring them home, little hearts coming home.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Sobering. Wow.
Incredibly poignant.
Sweet, tragic, and relevant. Beautiful.
Mark, I never know what to say to you. Your stuff is so amazing. But the first thing I need to ask is, where do you hide the other guy playing the other guitar? I can never see
What?
the other guy that's playing the other guitar in the room. Where?
This is it.
I don't know how you do it. Your songs are wonderful, and you know you're a guy that I know to a certainty that you could win any room. You could walk into a room where they were, you could walk into the room that the Blues Brothers were in with the cage and everything. I believe you could win any room, no matter how much chaos was going on. And my question to you is this: if a young person came to you, someone say 12, 14 years old, and they had a guitar and it was a good guitar and they had hands that could play a guitar, and you were to begin to teach them how to do what you do, not just as a guitar player, but as a performer, as a writer, where would you start?
I think, wow. I think I would start with trying to impress upon them that there's two things that are going on. They perform, or I perform, for other people. I perform for people, the audience. But I write for myself. Okay, I write what comes out of my heart, and you have to get in touch with that. I mean, you really do. You really have to get in touch with your emotions and your feelings and not be afraid to just put them out there. And number one, and the one thing, you know, going into a room and playing for people, you get all sorts of reactions. You know, I played in clubs for 25 years. I played in bars and nightclubs and restaurants, and I played to the backs of people's heads for 25 years. And anybody who's done those kind of gigs knows exactly what I'm talking about. That you're trying, you know, you wonder if anybody can hear over the commotion anything that you're doing, and certainly nobody's paying attention to you most of the time. If you can get through 20 years of that and still want to play music, I think you can do it. But for somebody starting out, you got to do it because you love it. You can't do it because you want to be famous. You can't do it because you want to make a lot of money. You can't, because we all know that doing this, we've made tens of dollars, you know, all of us. And so you got to do it because you love it, and you got to do what you love to do. You know, I won't play. Somebody can ask me to play a song, the popular song, and I won't do it unless I really like the song, because I won't even learn it unless I really like the song. I don't care what anybody else wants to play here. I got to play stuff that moves me. And if I can emote that emotion that comes out of me, that's what the audience will pick up on.
100%. Thank you so much, Mark. Love to have you on the show. You're
Thank
the
you,
best.
Dave. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, guys.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Those were some wonderful songs. All right. I don't know if anyone else is excited, but I'm introducing one of our very own. It's TK Tran from San Jose, California. The open mic he wants to shout out his Cafe List in South San Jose on the first Thursdays of the month. It's all you, TK.
Okay, great. Thanks, Laura. All right, so this first song is something I wrote back in 2019 when I first got back into music. It's kind of just about the way I grew up with my parents. I'm the younger of two boys, so I think statistically the younger kid is always the wild one, so that's not an exception in my family. So it's called Leave a Light On For Me. It's all of us squeezed into this small home. It ain't that much, but it's helped us through the hardest times, the fights, and all the lows. It's quaint for us, but it might be strange for you. I learned guitar in the bedroom I still sleep in. That same cast iron cooks our breakfast on the weekends. I've been known to make my mama cry, make my daddy's head spin loose. And it ain't about what we don't have, it's about all the things that we do. We live life in a simple way, and if I come home late at night, when I get to the door holding my key, I can count on Mama to leave a light on for me. I've lied and lost their trust half a dozen times, but somehow they still love me no matter what I do. Is it me, or am I just lucky as hell that all my support is under the same old roof? There's a lemon tree in the backyard that I helped dig the dirt for when I could barely reach the knobs on the doors. I've been known to make my mama cry, make my daddy's head spin loose. And it ain't about what we don't have, it's about all the things that we do. We live life in a simple way, and if I come home late at night, when I get to the door holding my key, I can count on Daddy to leave a light on for me. It's just how we've always lived, and we've always been happy with it. We know our neighbors by their names, and we know which ones to visit for a cold beer during a ball game. I've been known to make my mama smile, make my dad say, son, I'm proud of you. And it ain't about what we don't have, it's about all the things that we do. We live life in a simple way, and if I come home late at night, when I get to the door holding my key, I can count on Mama to leave a light on for me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Thanks. It's weird being spotlit myself. I'm just big on my own monitor, so I'm trying not to look that way. This next song is called For a Friend, and it's just about being a good friend and being there for your friends when they need you, because sometimes you need your friends and you hope they feel the same way. Yeah. I can't take away the pain that you feel, but I've got all the time you need to heal. I can't wish away what's been done to you, but I'll stick around and help you fight on through. I'll be a shoulder to lean on, a whiskey on the rocks. I'll be a song that you can dance to, a door that's never locked. I'll be a porch light that's left on, a chorus you can sing. I'll be a coffee in the morning for a friend. I'll be anything. I can't say I've been through all you've been through, but I'll open up this bottle and pour one for you. And I can't fix everything that ain't okay, but I've got ears that you could talk to all day. I'll be a shoulder to lean on, a whiskey on the rocks. I'll be a song that you can dance to, a door that's never locked. I'll be a porch light that's left on, a chorus you can sing. I'll be a coffee in the morning for a friend. I'll be anything. I'll be a long drive to nowhere, or a lazy day in some rocking chairs, a poker game on a Sunday night, or a bonfire burning bright. I'll be a shoulder to lean on, a whiskey on the rocks. I'll be a song that you can dance to, a door that's never locked. I'll be a porch light that's left on, a chorus you can sing. I'll be a coffee in the morning for a friend. I'll be anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Way to go.
Those were awesome, TK.
Great
Wonderful,
job.
TK.
Thank you.
What a pleasure it's been knowing you, getting to know you, and you've done so much for us here on Open Mic America. You've been long overdue to come back on the show. And I say it sometimes to Daphne, TK will be doing the sound checks and we'll have somebody on here with some impossible system, and TK is like a fighter pilot just navigating through all this chaos with minutes to spare, gets them zeroed in. And you just have this amazing ability to get inside the heart of a country song. You write them, like toss them off. You've done so many of the covers on Daphne's show, and you just have a mastery of it. Talk to us a little bit about how you came to know country music and love it, and just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the funny thing is I didn't get into it until pretty recently, maybe in like the last 5 years. When I started off playing music, I played electric guitar in punk rock bands. And it wasn't until, because I took a break from music around college, and it wasn't until I was like 25 or 26 that I just got back into country music, because country music's always been around in the house, in the family. But it never made sense to me until I started listening. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's storytelling, what's not to like about it. So that was the one genre I always came back to. And then I started playing it and writing it. So people told me I should keep going, so I kept going.
What I love about your performances is you're able to strip a song down to where you're just playing just single notes while you're singing, that a person can imagine the whole band behind you. You go right to the heart of the song, and you just do amazing things. Thank you so much, TK.
Thanks, Dave.
Pleasure to have you on the show.
Always a pleasure to be on.
Thank you, TK. You've been doing double duty tonight, acting as the show engineer and performing tonight. So excellent job, TK. Excellent job. All right. Next performer, are you ready? It's Evan Acey from Beaverton, Oregon, and he's also shouting out the Influence Music Hall open mic.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you. It's such a privilege to be here. I've been watching for a few months as some of my friends have found Open Mic America, and the level of musicianship that is here, and the songs that you sing really are true Americana, and it's just wonderful. So I was just tickled pink that the team decided to go ahead and let me play, and I'm nervous and everything about it. So might as well just jump right in and shake my boots off, right? So the two songs that I'm going to sing are at Influence Music Hall. We had a songwriting group that met for several weeks, and the first night everybody wrote down these ideas on a piece of paper for a song, and we put them all in a hat, and at the end of every week we would draw an idea out, and that's what you had to write for the next class. Anyway, these two songs came from that. This first one was an interesting one that came because it was one of those days where I had been in the morning sitting on the porch and just like the birds were having a great time. There was a hummingbird that had a nest in a tree outside of our window and watching that, and everything was great. And then I showed up to work and everybody was talking about what a crappy world we lived in. And I just thought, wow, it just really is all, it's what you're feeding yourself and what you're looking at. And then at the songwriting challenge, the thing was about had anything that has the ocean in it as a part of your theme. And so it took about 10 minutes to write this song. I went down to the ocean and dove into a plastic tree. I thought, my God, the ocean's dying, increasing toxicity. But then I sailed out to deep water, and I was free, yeah. I saw nothing but clear water as far as I could see. I went down to the country drugstore and witnessed a robbery. I thought, my God, society is dying of violent toxicity. But then I went to Sunday meeting and I got free, yeah, I got free. I saw loving people caring for each other and meeting other people's needs, yeah. Well, sometimes a new perspective is all that I need. I need a new perspective. Sometimes a new perspective is exactly what I need.
All right, Evan.
So true.
Thank you. And so the next one that I got a song away from that class was this one. And yeah, it's Christmas in May because today is Mother's Day, of course. And the theme was write a Christmas song. And, you know, things weren't always really good for my mom. In fact, my mom kind of had a really rough go. And but when it got good for her, she always remembered the people around her that didn't have it quite as good. And my mom instilled that in me. And so there was one Christmas where she had a revival, and for me it became the Christmas that defined all Christmases. And so this was an easy song to write. Ooh. The holiday stars on the Christmas tree tonight. Hot cocoa steaming in my cup. I'm traveling down memory lane at home. amazing grace. How sweet the sound. A quiet prayer whispered on her tongue. Thank you, Lord, for keeping us all safe and warm tonight when I was young. A hat, some gloves, hand warmers, soap, a comb, toothpaste, warm sock, stick, matches, and some tea. Hard candy and a handpin note that read, I share with you because God has shared with me. Each Christmas Eve when I was young, our family hit the streets. We found the broken and the lost, and we gave them Christmas treats. Mama hummed Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. A quiet prayer whispered on her tongue when I was young.
Beautiful song.
Woo!
All right, Amy, all right.
Love the lyrics. Love them.
Beautiful songs, Evan. Very positive, wonderful message. Obviously, your mom has had a big influence on you in your life and your music. And you're the guy that has put together Influence Music Hall. We need to talk about that a little bit because that's quite an accomplishment. I know that you have live shows there, and when the pandemic hit, you went virtual and brought people together. Talk a little bit about how that all started, from the beginning.
Well, I appreciate that when the guy said earlier, that if you have a good instrument and a child, when you asked him, what would you teach somebody? You have a good instrument, and what would you tell them to begin with? And he said, you said, if he has hands to play it. When I was a kid, I wrote a song on a plastic guitar, and it was just a couple of strings. It was a melody, really. It was a composition. And so my parents let me buy a guitar. I still have my Fender Champ. I've got a guitar that I think is kind of like the horrible thing that I bought at Portland Music Company, along with that $100 I paid for the Champ. That guitar just was bad. It didn't play well. It was never in tune. No matter what you did, the intonation was bad. So I tell people, do not let a child try and learn on a bad guitar. When your hands are making a C shape, it should sound like a C. I thought it was me, so it was years before I actually picked up the instrument. But when I finally did, I had been at a evening drinking beer with friends at a campfire, and I was watching these guys play guitar, and I go, that just can't be that hard. And so I bought one, and I started to go. I was 42 years old, and my music hero is Justin Hayward from the Moody Blues. I wanted to play that kind of music, and I was playing these Moody Blues covers, and I was playing for people, and I thought I was having fun, but none of the open mics would let me come back a second time, because actually, honestly, I had a lot of want to do it well, but I kind of sucked at it. And so what I did was I thought, no matter who you are, if you've got music in you and you want to play, then you should be able to have a place on a stage. So I had this idea for a place called Influence Music Hall, and we opened up, we started Friday nights, and no matter who you are, no matter what your genre, no matter how good you are at it or how badly you suck, if you want to play for people, you're a star on our stage for 3 songs or 15 minutes, whichever comes first. We've been at it 15 years. And yeah, COVID came. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that venue, we couldn't renew the lease because COVID. We went virtual, and now we're global, but now we're opening back up, and we're doing some things live again. And the number of people that over the years, and especially during COVID, that have told us, I would have committed suicide if I didn't have this community of people. I mean, as artists and musicians, we feel a lot, and those, life just really can beat people up. And to be a place that is so supportive, it's not just me, it was my vision, but it's all the people, Henry Kaiser, Rob Cork, all of the people that do influence. It is a blessing to be a part of this group of people, and thank you for letting us talk about it here.
That's wonderful, Evan. Wonderful that you did that, and that's been our whole idea behind Open Mic America, is to support the open mic movement globally, or not globally, nationally. And we've done it a little bit different way. We get some flack because we are not really an open mic. We do have an audition process to bring the higher level players in. But what you do is important, and congratulations on putting that together, and much success in the future. Thanks so much, Evan.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Evan. Oh, great. All right. We've got another performer for you, this time coming from the Midwest, Mount Vernon, Ohio. The open mic that they want to shout out is Folk Alliance Regional Midwest, also known as Farm. It's Sarah Goslee Reed with a parrot.
Yeah, that's my parrot. He's not alive, don't worry. There's a long story about that parrot, but yeah, we're in my music room, and when we started, it was light, and there a little while ago, you could see the nice dark blue sky, and now it's just black, so here we go. So, yeah, let's see. This, I'm going to do 2 songs. This first one is one that I wrote kind of about me and my life, I guess you would say. It just sort of, it's my introduction song without having to describe myself. Is everything okay? I heard another sound. Am I okay? This old place is full of room. There's furniture everywhere. 6 beds are empty most of the time. Got 3 couches to spare. When you're gone, it's too much house. Even the walls are quiet. Floors creak and echo, but when you all come home, we can't deny it. It's cold in the winter, but we never tire when you come to stay. We crank thermostats and build a fire. It's a family holiday. Frontin' back stairs, and the 2 of us are always looking for one another. I go up the back one's one, he goes down the other. Dogs bark, kids squeal, doors fly open, the kitchen table is covered. Crafts and toys, food and noise, with hugs and kisses we're smothered. It's warm in the summer, but we've got trees, and when you come to stay, we open the windows and feel the breeze. It's a family holiday. Before we know it, you'll pack up and be gone. But when you return, the party lights will come on. It's cold in the winter, but we never tire when you come to stay. We crank thermostats and build a fire. It's a family holiday. It's warm in the summer, but we've got trees. And when you come to stay, we open the windows and feel the breeze. It's a family holiday. It's a family holiday.
Wonderful.
Nice picking. Nice picking.
It's a
I want
gorgeous
to go to your
song.
house.
Thank you. Let's see. So when I wrote that song, my husband said, make sure that it's crafts and toys, because when my granddaughter comes, she says, oh, can we do crafts? And because he thought it sounded kind of not like the word crafts, but it really was crafts, just so you know. And so that's my song for, my family and, families out there since it's Mother's Day. Thank you. So I've been working on a new recording since a long time, I guess you would say. But especially just kind of collecting all the songs that I've written in the last couple years and trying to put them together in some sort of cohesive thing. And with the pandemic, I did some cleaning and found some old songs. So I started thinking about some really old songs. And I was trying to remember how they went. And I was trying to find the lyrics. And they're so old, I couldn't dig them up anywhere. But I finally found an old cassette tape and a cassette player. Then they actually both worked. And I resurrected this song. It's gone through a number of rewrites, but it's called The Healing, and it's going to be the title song from this new CD that I think will be done in about a month. So I'm very excited about that. And so here it is. It's called The Healing. Feels like it's February, so long ago. I could swear I hear the very voice I used to know. The ritual I go through year after year. The only thing I know to do. With a shovel in my hands, without a sound. Opening the earth, I plant a seed in this hallowed ground. Dust turned to mud, cold winter rain. I don't know how to stop the flood. Pushing back the water with my hands, holding on to all I have in my command, waiting for the willow and its greening, waiting for the healing. Every season signals change that never comes. I am frozen deep inside. If only I were numb. The ground's so hard and barren, needs a blanket for the cold. I fear this emptiness will never end. Pushing back the water with my hands, holding on to all I have in my command, waiting for the willow and its greening, waiting for the healing. Ice melts to water, cold begins to burn, colors seep from earth warmed by the sun. Tears flow past the point of no return, till they become a song upon my tongue. Pushing back the water with my hands, holding on to all I have in my command, waiting for the willow and its greeting, waiting, watching the willow and its greeting.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Sarah, absolutely beautiful songs, and
Thank you.
your singing and playing just exquisite, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Wow,
Talk to us, tell us how you became the performer you are today. Go back and was it a family member or a mentor you had when you were young? Take us way back and paint
Oh,
us a
wow.
picture of how you became inspired in the first place.
Well, my parents were both musicians. They were classical musicians. And so I started on the violin and a little piano. I didn't really take to the piano very well. So, but I had a violin, but I always wanted a guitar. And I would say.
How old were you? How old were you when you started on the violin?
9, I think.
9.
I can't remember. It was either 7 or 9. I can't remember. It's been a long time. But I will say that my first violin, my father brought me, he found it in a trash can, which is pretty funny because I don't know, it just was not my dad's thing to go looking in trash cans, but he drove by and he saw this violin case in a trash can and he thought, well, nobody would throw away a violin. So he backed the car up and got out and picked it up and looked inside and went, oh my golly, there's a violin. And he put it in the car and he came home and he said, Sarah, I brought you a present. So and I still have that violin. I've loaned it out to a lot of friends and family members who, whose kids have wanted to learn violin. So it's the freebie here from my house. But so that, and then when I was a teenager, young teen, we would watch Hootenanny on Saturday night. My older sister and I would watch Hootenanny. Well, my dad had a Saturday night concert in Cleveland. He was in the Cleveland Orchestra. So when my mom and dad went to the concert, my sister and I would stay home and watch Hootenanny. And that was really that. And then the Beatles, were a big influence. So I guess you could say those kind of 3 things.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that with us. And your music is exquisite.
you.
And the healing, that I think that's as the flagship of your CD, probably a great choice. It's a beautiful
Thank
song.
you. Well,
Thank
it's
you.
really a pleasure to be on your show. Thank you so much for having me. It was
Thank
fun.
you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Those were beautiful. I love them. Oh. All right, everyone. We're not done yet. We've got one more performer for you. Really excited. It's Ernest Whaley, hailing from Cuenca, Ecuador. His open mic that he wants to shout out is the Bistro Yaku open mic, which happens every other Wednesday in Cuenca, Ecuador. Welcome to the stage, Ernest.
I can't hear a thing without the headphones on.
I was just telling everyone how amazing you're going to be, how great your performance is going to be.
Oh,
I think I'm getting ill. Okay, hold on. Trying something a little different this time. I'm running myself through a speaker in my room as opposed to headphones, or I was going to wear my in-ear monitors, but I just had a doctor's appointment and he said, your ears are full of wax. You know, you got to come back and I'll clean them for you. And I'm going, well, I don't want to pack it in any further. And I'm just floored by the players and the songs that have gone on this evening. If any of you have ever suffered from like imposter syndrome, like I'm having a terrible case of it right now, because it's like, I mean, I've heard amazing stuff this evening. So I'm going to do my best. And this first song is about kind of like realizing that you wasted a lot of time growing into who you are, and that the next time around the wheel, because I'm a definite believer in reincarnation, I'm gonna find you sooner. And the next time around the wheel, I will find you sooner. Long before our hearts are scarred and our faces lined. And we will move together to dancers seeking union, oh, seeking union. And upon that stage of wonder, our spirits we will twine. And our learning will be joyous. Together we can be a song sung out in chorus about how loving you is just loving me. And the next time around the wheel, I will find you sooner. Long before our hearts are scarred and our faces lined. other two dancers seeking union, oh, seeking union. And upon that stage of wonder, our spirits, we will twine. And the next time around the wheel, I will find you, I will find you, I will find you, I will find you, I will find you.
Wonderful song.
Thank you. Okay. Back in my wild and crazy youth, like the 20s, and I sang in rock and roll bands in Los Angeles. I never really got all that rock and roll out of my system yet, so that's what this next song, and it was inspired by a relationship that did not quite work out because I was just not an adult enough person. And I'm really happy it didn't work out because the lady in this song, she's with a wonderful person, and her life is like, she's got the life that she wanted. Let's put it that way. And it's called, you got to remember, I was young and full of myself when I wrote this song. It's called, I Don't Know Why You're Looking. Thought about running so I wouldn't see him sitting close where I want to be when you said I don't love you, said I don't love you. I knew we were through. You said my romantic plans just don't include you. It's not easy to take back my heart when I give it away. Love doesn't flow and then stop the very next day. She said, don't pursue me. I said, yes, that's only right. Oh, but there's one thing I want to bring out into the light. I will still love you, though I'm not in town. I will still love you when the heavens come down, down, down. Just once in a lifetime, once in a lifetime, does it come around? I don't know why you're looking, don't know why you're looking when I'm already found. It's not easy. No, it's not. It's not easy. No, 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 no. It's not easy. not easy. It's not easy to take back my heart when I give it away. You know that love doesn't flow and then stop the very next day. Just once in a lifetime does it come around. Yes, I don't know why you're looking when I'm already found. I don't know why you're looking when I'm already found. I don't know why you're looking. I don't know why you're looking. I don't know why you're looking when I'm already found. I'm already found.
Yeah, rock on,
All right.
bro, rock on. Woo!
Woo! Yeah.
I
was
awesome.
grooving.
Rock out, bro.
Fantastic.
All right, Ernest. Killed it as
And
usual.
I didn't use any of my harmonies either. I felt like I was naked without my backups.
Great stuff, Ernest. Great stuff. A lot of energy there. I love it.
Thank you.
So tell us, what is the music scene like in Ecuador?
Well, actually, there's let's see, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bands of expats, expatriates. One's a primarily blues and rock band. Then there's one band that changes personnel, kind of like depending on the gig. It's country sometimes, and it's like rock and roll the other time. And there's some 1 or 2 different jazz groups, and one that basically does top 40 dance music. Along with, there's a lot of, Ecuadorian bands that do a lot of covers. Some bands do a lot of indigenous music. So there's a very happening music scene down where I am.
So when you go out, you go to, are there open mics?
There is one regular open mic, and that's at Bistro Yaku. It's part of a hostel called Yaku Mama Hostel, and it's like it's a wonderful place in that they don't have cooks there. They have chefs. I mean, you get French toast. It's got like spun, sugar on top of it and flowers and all sorts of other little things. So it's like probably my favorite place in Cuenca so far.
Do you play there?
I do the open mic, and
Cool.
I'm working on my my act to do like a regular 2-set kind of gig there. And there's I bought a bunch of backing tracks, and there's a jazz club that I want to like do the Great American Songbook and jazz standards at, just because they have just a world-class piano player, drummer, bass player. And so I'm working on tunes like All of Me, My Funny Valentines, stuff like that.
Very cool. Thanks so much, Ernest. Great to have you on the show, and our regards to everybody in Ecuador.
Oh, that's for sure. And I love being on the show. It's like I just hear some of the greatest music ever.
Thanks so much.
Couldn't agree with you more, Ernest. We have such amazing performers that come on this show, and tonight was no exception. Thank you, everyone, so much for performing. That is the end of our show tonight. But before we go, I do want to give a nice big shout out to all of our performers and thank them for coming and sharing their music with us tonight. Thank you, Shakey Joe. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, JD. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Ernest. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Priscilla. And thank you, TK. And also, of course, thank you, Dave, for handling the interviews for the show, and our ghost hosts, Sarah and Matt. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, everyone out there watching us on YouTube, thank you for watching. We love seeing people watch the show and interact with everything. If you liked the show, spread the word. Word of mouth is great. You can print out a poster from our green room section of the website. You can post it wherever you want. You can also check us out on social media. We are on Twitter and Instagram as Open Mic America, and we also have a Facebook group called Open Mic America Music Show. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. And if you don't want a poster, but you do still want some Open Mic America stuff, you can order a shirt for Open Mic America if you want. That's also in the green room section of our website. And so go ahead and check that out. It is openmicamerica.com. And the real reason to check out the website is because you can go and find not only links to all of our performers' works and their websites, but you can also find all of the names of the open mics that were shouted out tonight, as well as ones that have been shouted out in the past. If you feel inspired by tonight's performance, go ahead and check out your own local open mic. I guarantee you there is at least one real close next by to where you are. So go ahead and check those out. But if you don't know where to start, openmicamerica.com, check out the local open mics tab. But for now, that's the end of the show tonight. We will be back on May 15th, and it will be hosted by Daphne Ramil. As for the full lineup, you're going to have to stay tuned and check out the website for it. That is, again, openmicamerica.com, and we hope that we will see you all soon. So with that, I think it's time to say goodnight. Wave goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time. Good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
All right.